Welcome to Blog Talk. We're back. Today we are talking about how to sum this up.
Home renovations or upgrading your home on a budget.
Specifically, I think what we're trying to speak to today is if you have a newer home that has builder grade finishes, if you live in the suburbs and you feel like your home looks like everyone else's home, and you want to renovate it or like make it your own, but you don't have a budget to just blow it up, what are some of the things that you can do as you're moving through your home to make it feel more elevated, to take away that sense of like, it just all feels like builder finishes? And to be honest, if you're getting ready to sell your home or thinking about it, these are things that buyers notice too, and they can't always put their finger on what makes your home feel special, but these little touches go a really long way.
Yes, it makes your home stand out a little bit more. Yeah, and feel a little bit more personalized. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move through each room in the house to kind of give you ideas of what you can do to elevate that space. So let's start with the bathroom.
Okay, perfect.
I just did my bathroom on a budget.
And what year was your home built? Just to give people an idea.
It was built in 99. So what we did is we slapped a fresh coat of paint. We changed out the mirror, which super elevated the space. I mean, aside from styling, there's numerous things that you can do, like changing fixtures, adding hardware to the cabinetry, switching out the medicine cabinets.
Light fixtures and mirrors are the big one that kind of set the down of the space, and then you can kind of move through, and towel bars. So now let's talk about the kitchen. That's a big one, right? Kitchen remodels really can get very pricey, but what are some of the things that you can do in the kitchen to kind of elevate the space and make it a little more yours? So the easy ones, very similar to the bathroom, light fixtures and hardware go a really long way. And when I say hardware, I mean everything from the cabinet hardware to your faucet. Light fixtures, you can add can lightings, like in those 90s, 80s, 90s homes. We have a lot of those recessed light boxes. Those actually aren't super expensive if you call the right person to have them drop that down and put in some recessed lighting, because the wiring's already there. So that's a really nice one. If you have a little bit more money, changing out countertops and adding a fresh backsplash can really make your space feel elevated while keeping the cabinets. If you've remodeled a home, you're gonna know this to be true. The way that we used to make cabinets, those oak and maple cabinets that are so popular from the 80s and 90s, were actually real wood and strong cabinetry. So there's a lot you can do to elevate those without completely replacing them. And countertops and backsplash really can be done on a budget. I would say $3,000 to $5,000.
Yep. And then moving throughout the rest of the house, small little design ideas like adding wainscoting or an accent wall is something that's going to personalize that space. It just make it feel not so bland and builder grade.
Yeah, wallpaper's in right now. I mean, we love a vintage look. So, if you want to do a wallpaper wall, we're not going to be upset about it.
Yeah.
But some other things, big things in living spaces is like flooring. I mean, that can cost $15,000 to $25,000 depending on what you choose and the size of your home, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
So things that you can do to elevate it, in addition to accent wall, I would say window treatments. So if you have those like pole blinds, the builder grade pole blinds, there are a ton of really beautiful options to replace them. Yeah. But if that's not in the budget for you, I cannot speak enough to curtains. Yeah. You can get curtains at Home Goods, Ross, TJ Maxx. Like, it's one of the things that eBay Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, IKEA, they've got the really long ones on a budget.
And Ross, you can find obviously at thrift stores, Ross, all these same places.
Yes, there's a lot of DIY looks, and there's something about a beautiful window covering that adds texture and drama to a space and just immediately elevates it.
And we don't want to get too much into styling because I think that's something we can talk about.
Styling we'll do on another episode, but this is more of like take out a drill, get in there. Just one more thing in living spaces is lighting. We've talked about that a lot. Some of it is a little bit more expensive, but even swapping out your little sconces that the builders have in the hallways and bathrooms and in some of the main room, and installing the pretty light fixtures, ceiling fans, and doing the wiring for those. It'll surprise you if you have an electrician come out. It's not crazy expensive, and it does go a long way. So little things like that. Cheers.